Unfinished business. Discuss and/or approve the instructional support. You want to take this? There's been a lot of discussion about the levy, especially in light of what the governor and the legislature seem to have in mind for financial support of schools. And so they've been kicking around the idea of having an instructional support levy. Should we or shouldn't we? What are the pros and cons? And it's probably true. We certainly think so, and we hope so, that we can operate a year without that levy. And so I don't know that there is any consensus on this board to push for that now. However, I would personally like to recommend that we continue to keep an eye on what's going on legislatively, and also to consider educating the public better about that levy and what its importance might be, and revisit this maybe later on. I'd like to see the businessman here, the superintendent, continue to present information about that and work toward that end. Now, I don't know how others feel about that.
I think it's a good idea to keep the public involved, but maybe we should have a plan starting in August, July, whenever, and lead up to September vote. And I don't know what that plan is. How soon do we start? I mean, because right now I think it's good that we let them know what's going on. But are they going to remember everything that they need to know, or that's important to them when September comes around?
Now you're talking about if we pursue the instructional support program, put it before the voters for the 10-year period, not for the group. That's what you're suggesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to see it on the ballot in September, and if we get them educated at the right time, then I think that's the way to go. Sorry, Brent.
No, that's fine. I like that idea too. Also like the line of logic that when we've talked about this, and John and I have, as far as, you know, educating the public, trying to get them to do something to vote it in, but yet maybe not even implement it as a board.
Right.
Sit back and there is a maximum the levy can be, and look at our finances on a year-to-year basis and see, hopefully, that we don't have to tax for the maximum. But at least sit back and know that the public was behind it, and then have us decide, I guess, what amount that needs to be.
I think that's really important for the public to know too, Brian. You're right.
Okay.
That would be similar to what the board has done with the Board of Public.
Right.
I think it is important to note that I'm not sure that I've got the figure 100% correct, but about 96% of the schools in the state have an instructional support levy. And that should tell us something about the importance of the instruction.
And the thing about the instructional support levy that I think everybody understands at this point, if not, we'll do a continuing job, but it's really the only avenue that local boards have to positively impact finances for the teaching and instruction in the general fund. And I made it no secret that this district needs to have the instructional support levy at some point. Of course, you also know my preference is to get started with it right away, but I understand and respect that there's a difference there, and that we're going to look at doing this a little bit differently, and we can certainly support that. But I use the term that it really is an insurance type policy for the district to have the flexibility to make sure that we don't get into a financial bind where we're talking about losing programs and hurting our education of our kids, because that is the bottom line. Over and over is what's in the best interest of our students. And so I would be thrilled to work with Mr. Kraft in putting together a plan to continue keeping this in the forefront and looking at taking it to our patrons. And so I assume you're picking September, so it's a regular school board election. That
I would like to see that. Yeah.
Well, it saves us money of a special election. So that's a good point.
I also have talked to some people, just for information, about the income surtax. I think that's an important thing for people to understand too. I think some people in our communities would like to see that rather than just the property tax.
And those will be decisions that the board, when we get to the point of approving this and moving forward formally, then you will have that option. So it makes sense. If you choose to. And personally, the income surtax, it's a different kind of approach. It takes a little bit of explaining.
Makes sense.
But there's some logic to it. There is.
Ideally, we could find someone in the public who's not serving on this board, or there's no school administrator who would feel strongly enough about this that they would want to carry the ball. They just passed this issue in the old Arthur district recently, and the public pretty well carried the ball on the issue. They passed it big. Excellent. But that was that's something, you know, that the school really had to carry. So I think we know where we want to go with that, don't we?
We'll get this. Probably not until tomorrow.